What is going on, YouTube? It is Let's Talk Books, back with another video, my second video ever here on YouTube. So if you enjoy this content, please feel free to subscribe or like. It would mean the world to me as I get going here on YouTube. I'm new here, don't really know what I'm doing, but if you enjoy people talking about books, what they're currently reading, previous books, book hauls, all the things booktubers do, please feel free to like and subscribe. And with that, let's kick things off with 6 reasons why I read books and why I think you should too. All right, number 1. It's kind of a silly one, but it's conceptually pretty cool to me, and it's pretty trippy when you think about it, which is watching TV in your mind. I mean, whether it's nonfiction or fiction, what you're doing when you're reading is sitting there with a physical piece of media with letters on it, and based on the arrangement of those letters, you are forming a video in your mind that is reflective of what you're looking at. So, I don't know, to me it's just super trippy to think about conceptually what is going on when you're reading a book. You're sitting there staring at words, but in your mind is this fantastical universe that's unfolding with characters in it and dramas unfolding. I mean, it's really crazy when you think about it. So, kicking it off with an easy one. A little bit more serious, though. Number 2 is perspective on the world and learning. I know everyone talks about it. Very obvious answer. Perspective on the world, perspective on people, learning. There's so many tropes about how highly successful people read a lot, but I have to tell you, it's true. There's a reason that trope exists, and it's because what you gain from reading, fiction and nonfiction alike, is really unparalleled. I mean, you learn so much about the world, about people and different perspectives and business, depending on what you're reading. Maybe, in any given topic, you can read volumes and volumes of work that human society has been building on one another over time. I mean, it's really just unmatched. And on the topic of learning, one thing that I've been doing that I find really fun to make nonfiction a little bit more fun is pairing fiction with nonfiction. So a fun example of that might be, let's see, we've got the book here, Fascism. This is a perfect example. Fascism, A Warning by Albright. Great book on fascism, and goes through various leaders in the world who have been fascists historically. So maybe you want to read a book to pair with this, a dystopian novel where a government becomes autocratic or fascist in a very extreme way. So you can see how this unfolded in real life, historically, or currently, depending on your political viewings, and pair that with a fictional novel where it's happening on an extreme level, so you can kind of see the worst case scenario, and then if it's a sci-fi or a fantastical world, well, then you get the worst case scenario paired with magic, and that's just a pretty cool thing. So, okay, wouldn't be a why read video without putting learning in there. The topic of learning as well is improved creativity. So, the best way I've heard it put, the best way that I've thought about creativity, I forget who said this, but it's basically creativity is the ability, when given a topic or an object, your ability to have nodes light up in your brain that are either close to that object or far away from that object while still linking to that first node. So stick with me here. If someone were to bring up, say, a water bottle and different ways to utilize a water bottle, well, the first node that lights up would probably be drink water from a water bottle. So that's not very creative. But then you might think, I don't know, hold objects, dump the water out and hold objects. Well, that's maybe 2 nodes away from its original intent. Or maybe you could think of a way to cut the plastic up and reuse the plastic, melt it, and then, use it for creating nets in the ocean or what have you. I don't know, I'm just making something up. Or creating toys out of the recycled plastic from the water bottle. My point is, the more nodes away from any given topic that you can think of constitutes your creativity level. And reading, in my case, and in many people's case, I'm sure, has allowed me to have nodes light up in my brain that otherwise wouldn't have been connected otherwise, if that makes sense. So this is a really long-winded way to say that reading allows you to understand more perspectives on the universe, which then leads you to being more creative, because when topics or situations or things come up in life that require creativity, you've seen more of the world in perspective, and you can make your notes light up farther away than the original topic. I hope that made sense and I'm not coming off as a crazy person right now. Okay. Reason number four, and it's kind of a basic one, but it's true. I mean, I like my 9 to 5, but sometimes after work, I just want to escape. And there's no better escapism for me personally than finding a good book, pouring a cup of tea, sitting on my patio, and just disappearing from the world for an hour or two. So, I'll leave it at that. Escapism, it is what it is. Sometimes you want to break free and just kind of be alone in your own little bubble for a little bit. Number 5, which is just sharing your learnings, or if not learnings, if it's just a fictional book, sharing what you're reading with other people. I mean, there's no better feeling in life than when you finish a good book and you bring it up with someone and they also have read that book, and then you can connect and share your perspectives on it and talk about what happened in the book. I mean, we do that all the time with Netflix movies and movies in general. But with books, it kind of just feels deeper because you went on a really long journey alone, and then when you find someone else that also went through that journey, you get to share it with them. So sharing it, and then from a nonfiction standpoint, sharing what you learned, if you can do it in a non-annoying way, is always really fun. If you're listening, my wife, for example, just finished what's it called? She just finished The Comfort Crisis, and she loved it. She comes home every day from work, and on her commute, she's listening to The Comfort Crisis, and she's talking about, all the different ways that we've grown too comfortable as a society. And I love hearing about that. And I love that she loves sharing that. And that, is just knowledge being transferred from a book to her mind, to my mind. So the sharing is really cool. Number 6 is an unfortunate one, ironic as well, because if you're watching this and you made it this far, you're watching on YouTube. But it's breaking away from technology. I feel it as much as the next person. The addictive pull of technology, be it social media, TV, movies, everything. It is buzz, 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 the buzz of my watch. I had to go mute my freaking watch before this video started, because as I started talking, it started buzzing away. And it's like, anyway, breaking away from technology, enough said. It's just turn everything off. Go out into the world, away from technology, give yourself a break, turn off the freaking phone, and just enjoy a book for a little bit. So that's my 6 reasons why I love reading and why I think you should too. I hope you enjoyed listening to those reasons. And like I said, I'm new here. It's kind of a rant. I don't know what's going on. But if you're enjoying this content, please feel free to subscribe. It would mean the world to me, because I think I only got 12 of y'all out there, and appreciate every single one of you as I get started here. Thank you so much. And right now, I'm finishing up The Devils. So next week, I'll put out a full-length video on The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. Spoiler, I'm freaking loving it. And if you have any suggestions on books I should read, please leave it in the comments down below. I love nonfiction, fantasy books alike. Right now I'm kind of on a fantasy kick, and as the weather starts to turn, I'll probably switch to horror. So I guess in particular, if you have a horror novel suggestion, please let me know. And thank you so much for being here. Take care.